bagulho de GoFund. Oh, mano, sério. Daí pra mim já... The situation is crazy. Calma aí.
Right here. And I don't want your, noodle getting blasted against the side of your skull, because this is a lot of information you're going to need to be processing to keep up with the lore. So, yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of you have been keeping up with this as well, but I'm still going to lay out the bare bones of the situation. Yesterday, out of nowhere, there was a statement posted on LIL TAY's Instagram claiming that she has passed away, as well as her brother. LIL TAY is 14 years old, so obviously this was very shocking to hear for a lot of people. It's just an extremely sad situation. Not only did she pass away, but now they've just revealed that the brother has also passed away. Just horrible all around. This was a huge story and just like a complete out-of-nowhere event that caught everyone by surprise. And it also seems a lot of people forgot who LIL TAY was because it's been 5 years since she's been active in the cyberspace. And in internet time, 5 years is ancient history. That shit's going back to like the primordial ooze. Nobody remembers things that happened 5 minutes ago, let alone 5 years. So I'll just go ahead and give you a brief refresher here. LIL TAY was a 9-year-old influencer who blew up in 2018 by posting content of her flexing money. She'd also do tours of mega mansions.
Eu lembro que ela ficava... Como é o nome? Ficava se achando pelo dinheiro, mostrando dinheiro, só dinheiro.
Talking about how she buys them all the time. She'd be in expensive sports cards and say shit like, I don't have a license, but that doesn't mean that I still can't own the goddamn Batmobile. And then she'd do like a fan of money, like she was a magician, asking you to pick a card, but the only card there was Benjamin Franklin's. The content was basically just, here's a 9-year-old who's saying absurd things and has a seemingly absurd amount of money. Now, obviously, no 9-year-old is going to really act this way. This was all a persona. But it turns out it wasn't like her idea or anything. It's actually a pretty sad situation. As more details arose here, it turns out the people closest to her were the ones basically controlling her whole life. They gave her this role that she was forced to play. They'd tell her what to do and what to say, and they'd get all of the expensive cars and mansions set up so that way she could go film content in there and flex on everyone so that way they could capitalize off of her viral fame. It's a classic case that we've seen a million times in Hollywood with absolutely degenerate scum using their kids to live vicariously through and make money off of. It's just abhorrent shit, really. Now, obviously, when this news broke, everyone was surprised and upset. However, there was a small number of people who...
You have a heart that we share that the vesting news of your beloved declares, sudden and tragic passing. You have no words to express the unbearable loss and inscrutable pain. His outcome was entirely unexpected and has left us all in shock. Her brother passing adds and even more go depth into her briefly during this time of immense sorrow. We kindly ask for privacy as we grieve this overwhelming loss, as the circumstances around Claire and her brother's passing are still under investigation. Claire will forever remain in your hearts, her absence leaving an irreparable void that will be felt by all who knew and loved her. Caralho, bizarro, mano. What the fuck? Caralho.
Got suspicious because in the past, the LIL TAY Instagram account has actually posted something out of the blue before with some very disturbing allegations. It's since been deleted and buried, but it was enough to at least put it on people's radar as something that maybe requires a little more investigation just to ensure that there's no fishy business or it's not some kind of lie or some hacker pretending to be the family of LIL TAY and making this announcement. So there was a group of people that did some super sleuthing, cosplaying as L from Death Note and just putting together the puzzle pieces, and most notably this included TMZ. So they had been contacting like police departments as well as other organizations just asking if they had any death certificates or records of her passing or her brother's passing, to which they all said no. And eventually, TMZ apparently got in contact with LIL TAY herself directly, who confirmed that it was all a ruse. Her and her brother are very much alive, and all of this hoopla was the result of a hacker getting access to her Instagram. She said, I want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I'm completely heartbroken and struggling to even find the right words to say. It's been a very traumatizing 24 hours. Now, this whole situation is so fucking weird then, because there's actually an even deeper layer here. The question would obviously be,
hacker invadiu... Ai, mano, fodeu. Ó a merda. Meu Deus, mano.
Why would a hacker bother doing this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And right now, the leading theory is that it ties into crypto. And let me explain. I actually learned about this from a publication speculating on why this might have even been posted in the first place. So it turns out there is a crypto coin called LIL TAY token, and it's existed for a little while now, though I don't think it's fully released or anything like that. But in the wake of all of this information here with like you fake out that LIL TAY and her brother are dead, people were wondering what the fuck would anyone even gain by making up that lie. So they turned their attention back to the LIL TAY token, and this account is actually pretty active on Twitter. They're denying that this was all a publicity stunt. This is actually spearheaded by someone who has worked closely with LIL TAY in the past. So the theory does hold a bit of water. They wanted to get LIL TAY's name out there in a big way to get a ton of publicity and hype around her. So they went with the Dino Spumoni approach here from Hey Arnold with the fake death thing. And it got everyone talking about LIL TAY, which in turn would get people to talk about LIL TAY token when it drops. Maybe the idea was drum up all of this interest around LIL TAY's name, then this crypto token comes out and people buy it in honor of her memory. And I think that is the stupidest idea ever.
Mas pode ser true, mano. Nossa, meu Deus, velho, as pessoas são muito doentes, cara. Ai, meu Deus do céu. Okay.
If that is actually the root of all of this evil here with this whole situation, that would be a dumber idea than the fucking shake weight. That is so stupid. That would make no sense. There is no logical thought process that would go into someone saying like, man, it really sucks that LIL TAY and her brother passed away so young, that's tragic, and then being like, in order to show support to their memory, I'm going to buy an overpriced crypto shitcoin. That's what they would have wanted. Like, that's just not going to happen. This would never move tokens. This would never sell crypto for them. So I don't really think that's what the whole purpose was, but it's also hard to deny that there is a chance with how degenerate the internet's become that a team might actually try this. So it's possible, but I think it's unlikely. I think one thing is very clear here, though. LIL TAY is surrounded by bad people. They told her everything to say back in 2018, saying awful things, doing garbage shit for the sake of being a viral celebrity so that they could make money off of her. She is surrounded by fucking parasites. The people that she's supposed to be able to trust and rely on most in her life seem to be the ones that are controlling her whole life for their own personal gain financially. It's so sad. But I would like to expand a bit on what I alluded to earlier, where this isn't the first post that's popped up on her account from somebody else about some very disturbing stuff. A couple years ago, there was actually a post on her Instagram talking about how she needs to be saved from her abusive father. And it linked to a GoFundMe page which raised like $17,000, alleging that the father was abusing her and a lot of other really disturbing allegations as well. It was started by her brother and alleges that the father is evil and abusing her and doing everything he can to control all of her money. And it also has like a bunch of pictures as well as evidence. It says that the goal of the GoFundMe is to free her from the life of abuse that she currently lives, and that they're going to be doing everything they can to get her away from the father.
God, I don't...
And I believe that's through the court system. But I haven't been able to find any information on that or any updates on the situation at all. There's only one update provided on the GoFundMe, and that was like a week after it launched, where this is what was said. I want to take this time to personally thank everyone that believes the truth and supported Tay even through the conspiracy theories. Please realize the Supreme Court case directly involving a minor is not public information. All documents are sealed and will not show up in the registry. The truth will eventually come out. Chris Hope owes $400K in child support and has stolen millions. Just now speaking about this because I no longer am a minor and now have the right to do so without harming my family legally. All people alleging that I am stealing money through a GoFundMe, please look at the facts, look at the police reports and the abuse. This is a serious situation. I feel like if you raise $17,000 for a situation as serious as this, you would want to keep people updated on what's happening here, and people would want to know. But somehow, this has just flown completely under the radar. I can't find any follow-up to any of these claims or anything that's happened since this GoFundMe. The brother hasn't said anything on it, which is fucking weird. A lot of people apparently accuse this of being a scam, claiming that the brother was taking the money here from the GoFundMe for himself, just pocketing it.
Que bagunça.
And I can see why people would think that, because he hasn't fucking said anything about it. He hasn't given any updates on anything here. It's just been complete radio silence for the last couple of years where no one knows what's going on with this. And that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you keep people in the loop, especially because it's so serious and people are directly donating to try and do their best to help? The brother of LIL TAY has been a very controversial person since the beginning of LIL TAY's career, where there's a lot of accusations against him for a lot of different things. So the fact that all of this here, the hashtag Save LIL TAY movement, all of it that he was putting out there to try and get some steam behind has just vanished without a trace from him or anyone else involved here. It's all really weird. So the post out of the blue claiming that both LIL TAY and her brother had died is not the first time that something has popped up on her Instagram out of the blue with some very alarming stuff. So the whole thing is baffling. It's such a weird mess. I don't know why a hacker would take over her Instagram account to make that post, and I also don't see why anyone on her team would make that post either. There's just nothing to be gained from anyone, no matter what angle you spin it. Like, even the crypto angle, assuming that theory is even remotely true, there's nothing to gain there. Like, there's no one wins. Like, nothing makes sense about this situation. So, yeah, it's just been a weird, wild ride here with this whole story that I just wanted to go over. That's about it. See ya.
Ah, não quero nem falar sobre isso não, mano. É uma bizarrice, velho. Ah, não. O hacker invade, fala que morreu a irmã e o irmão. Aí depois desmentem, aí depois encontra um bagulho de coin, de Bitcoin, de criptomoeda. Aí depois tem um bagulho de GoFund. Ah, ó, mano, sério, isso daí pra mim já... Pra mim já, isso daí já é um scam, mano.